Good day, family. Casanova here, and in this video, we're gonna talk about what everyone's talking about in the real estate world. I'm sure if you have not been sleeping under a rock, you've heard about Exp Realty, and there's a lot of truths out there about it, and there's a lot of myths out there. So in this video, we will debunk the top 3 myths about Exp Realty. Stay tuned.
What's up, dream builder? Are you someone who's interested in creating a life by your design through all things real estate? Well, I can assure you, you are in the right place. Join me, your host, Casanova Brooks. I'm an award-winning real estate agent and investor as we uncover the top tips, strategies, and the mindset of the top real estate entrepreneurs across the world. Stay locked in because we're about to go on a journey that will change your life.
Now, before we get started, I do want to put out this quick disclaimer. My goal is only to educate with this video. I understand that everyone has different scenarios of why they choose their brokerage and what they're looking for ultimately for their freedom, for their life, and creating real estate by their design. For me, I'm only looking to share what my experience has been. So if you're someone else that is maybe looking to find someone who looks like you, or maybe came from the same background as you, or maybe the reasons why I did it, you might be able to resonate with, that's the only reason why I'm sharing this. So I'm not going to shove it down your throat. I just want to tell you why EXP has been a great company for me, what I've figured out that has been true, what I figured out that has not been true, and hopefully that can make you make a better and more informative decision when it comes to your real estate future. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the first myth. So the first thing that I hear all of the time is EXP is not great for a new agent. Granted, I understand that everybody learns in a different way. You might be somebody who you need hands-on instructions, you need to be in a classroom, things like that, which I completely understand. But a lot of people, when they think of EXP, they think of a cloud brokerage, and they don't understand that there's over 80 hours of live training every single week. And this is not only by the trained professional staff, but this is also by the top agents and brokers who've been doing this for 10, 15, 20, 30 years in the business, and they're also adapting and they're in the trenches with you, with a new agent every single day. Now, if you're someone that's in a brokerage right now where you have some top producing agents, how hard is it for you to be able to get their time? And even on top of that, if you are a new agent, what value can you add to them? Because they're running really fast. So one, if you are gonna try to pick their brain, then you need to probably say you'll join their team, which means that you're giving up 50, 60% of your commission. Or the second part is you probably will meet with them, but you won't feel like you got tremendous value out of it because of the fact that they're not going to share their top strategies with you. Because at the end of the day, if you're not on their team, what does that mean? You are their competition. When you get into EXP, if you are a newer agent, it matters who you partner up with. It does matter who your sponsor is. What is the systems like? What type of support does that team have? The way that I always describe EXP is it's kind of like an NFL. Think about the NFL. Within the NFL, you have 32 different organizations. Now with EXP, of course, there's a lot of different organizations, but it really matters if you're looking for mentorship, if you're looking for support, if you're looking for marketing to understand how do you grow your business? How do you grow a sustainable business? Because everybody can have that 1 year where they just hustle. But then at the same time, how do you get better even 1% for the next year so you don't have to do the same amount of hustle and burn yourself out, but you can still get the same amount of results? And what that really comes from is systems. And that's what I think that EXP has done so well for newer agents, is providing not only resources, but systems for them to be able to be successful. Now, what does that mean? The things that I'll leave you with if you were a newer agent is understanding that all of the resources are there, understanding that you can build wealth in this company from day one, understanding that everyone wants to see everyone win. Why? Is because we all have ownership in this company. And when you have ownership in something, you take more pride in it and you want to see everyone else around you succeed. It's a team. It's a true form of a team. And so that's why I believe that for new agents, when it comes to building wealth, and it also comes to having the support, but it also comes to having the resources, having websites, having having lead generation, all these things. If you tap in, yes, in the beginning, it could be a little overwhelming, but this is the power of having mentorship, having support, having accountability, and having camaraderie for people that can help you take it step by step by step. And so for me, the saying that I hear all the time is EXP is only for newer agents is the first myth that I want to debunk. Now, a second common myth that I hear a lot is that your mentor will be your sponsor. Here's what I can tell you. I'll tell you my story. When I first heard about EXP, I was looking in no way. I was at the #1 producing single agent for Berkshire office in the country. I had a lot of great friends. I built my business there. Things were great for me. And when I say #1 producing, we had about 49% of the market share here in Omaha. So leaving that to go to somewhere else, I was open, but I wasn't open, right? Had to be a really good opportunity. Now, when I first got approached about EXP, that wasn't what I thought that I was gonna be seeing. And here's how it all played out. A year prior, there was a guy who was trying to get me to do network marketing, and it was for a travel company. And when I first was approached about it, I looked at the concept and I was like, it's a good concept, but it's just not for me. I'm growing my real estate business. I'm focused right now. I'm about to start me a team. Like, I'm good. And so that was kind of where that left off. Well, the following year, I get a text message from a good buddy, not the same guy. And he says, hey man, I got this guy who reached out to me. He's looking for some killer real estate agents here in the area. You know that I always recommend you. So I wanted to see if it was okay if I pass along your number. So I'm like, yeah, definitely. That's cool. And I'm thinking that it's a buyer or seller opportunity. So the guy calls me up and he says, hey man, I got your number from, a friend. His name was Tommy. And he's like, he said that you're crushing it. I would love to sit down and have coffee. We got this huge real estate opportunity that's about to blow up. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll listen, and I wound up putting two and two together like a couple days later and knowing that it was the same guy in that network marketing company. So then I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna tell me about this again. And I was still gonna hear the meeting out. That's one key right there. Always take the meeting. There is so many real estate agents and brokers who feel like they know everything, right? Now, I can't teach an old dog new tricks, or I've been in this business for 30 years, but they're the ones who are struggling now because they thought that they knew everything when they were selling 50, 60, 70 homes. But now with social media and things adapting and changing, people don't want to adapt with the times. And now they're in the process of getting rolled over because they don't want to get with it. So always take the meeting and just hear it out. If it's not for you, that's totally fine. So I was going to take the meeting. Well, that morning I wound up getting super busy. I was meeting with my team that morning and I had a listing appointment that morning as well. And I remember just sending him a text saying, hey man, I'm running late. I'm going to actually have to reschedule this. And he instantly calls me and he says, hey man, don't do this. I got this guy who just flew in from town. We're ready to meet with you. I'm telling you, it's going to be worth your time. I'm like, I get it, man, but I can't. Like, I'm running behind. Like, let's just reschedule it. He's like, well, where are you at right now? And I'm like, I'm in my office. My office is about 20 minutes away. He's like, well, how much time do you have before you have to leave? And I'm like, I got about 40 minutes. He was like, okay, it'll take me 20 minutes to get over there. If you would just give me 20 minutes of your time, I'll show you what I have. If you don't like what you see, I promise you I won't bother you again. Okay, fine. So he actually comes to my office. It's a $20 million building. He comes in there, him and another guy, and they both wound up pitching me on why I should go to EXP inside of my office, which was bold in itself. And I'm like, oh my God. But the mantra says, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now, what does that have to do with being your sponsor and your mentor? Well, this guy, he held his license in Tennessee, but he was not even licensed in Nebraska, nor was he practicing real estate. And so when I first opened my eyes on it, some other people got aware of it and they started reaching out to me, and it was in another team in EXP. Remember what I said? EXP is kind of like the NFL and there's different organizations. And so it was another team and they said, hey, we heard that you're thinking about it. Come talk to us. Just grab coffee before you sign on. And I was like, okay. So we went and grabbed coffee and they were telling me about how we could sell more real estate. And that was great, right? But here's what I found for me. I already knew how to sell a lot of real estate. And on top of that, I was already masterminding and networking and building relationships with the top agents and brokers in the country anyway, just by me being on social media and me always having an open mind and wanting to connect and grow my circle, grow my network, which was obviously my net worth at the end of the day. And so that was a big deal for me. But what I didn't know, I thought about it and I said, well, let me think about this. I know how to sell more real estate. But what I don't know how to do is I don't know how to build teams. I don't know how to become a better leader. I don't know how to become more systematized, how to have duplication, all of these other things. And so I chose to capitalize on where I was weak at rather than just trying to focus on my strengths. And so hopefully that's a nugget for you right there, because a lot of us, we focus, which right, you want to focus on your strengths, but a lot of us, we feel like we want to do everything, right? And so I noticed that I didn't know these things. So how about I partner with someone else who does? And so my mentor was my sponsor, but not when it came to selling real estate. My mentor was my sponsor because he's shown me how to grow my team. He's shown me how to have systems and duplication. And so for you, when you're partnering up with someone, the nugget out of this that I would hope, whether you're a new agent or even a seasoned agent, is look at all of the things that you already do right. And you know that you're going to keep doing those things because you've built them into your system of your habits, right? Your system of your habits. But what are the things that you maybe don't know? What are the things that you can leverage? Is your sponsor going to give you more status? Is your sponsor going to give you more lead generation? Is your sponsor going to give you more personal development? Is your sponsor going to give you a coach? Whatever that might be, because if they already have a coach or something like that, maybe they're going to give you all of the tricks and the trades of the money that they're already spending with their coach, and they're bringing it back with you. But the name of the game, especially in real estate, is leverage. And so my nugget to you is to make sure that you don't go in just expecting your sponsor to be your mentor, because there's going to be a lot of people over the course of your career. If you're new and just getting started, trust me on this, but even if you've been in, you probably can attest or account for the fact that there's been a lot of people who you never would have expected to be your mentor. And maybe you've never been on their team. Maybe you have no plans of ever joining their team, and you guys are running side by side, but that accountability and that support is everything that you've needed to continue to grow and sustain a real estate career. So that's the second myth, is that your mentor will be your sponsor. That's not always the case. And they might mentor you in ways that you never would have thought of, and it might not even come from your sponsor. Now, the third myth that I hear quite a bit is EXP is a pyramid scheme. Well, first off, I think we need to define what exactly is a pyramid scheme, so then actually we can determine if EXP meets that criteria. Now, I'm gonna pull up a few resources on the internet real quick, and I'm gonna read them directly to you. So this is right from Wikipedia. It says that a pyramid scheme is a business model that recruits members via the promise of payments for services, of enrolling others into the scheme rather than supplying investments for the sale of product. Here's the FTC's website, and let's look at their definition of a pyramid scheme. All pyramid schemes share one overriding characteristic. They promise consumers or investors large profits based on primarily recruiting others to join their program, not based on profits from any real investment or resale of goods to the public. To share a simple example of a pyramid scheme, this can be a company that makes a health product that may or may not work. So you have a system where rather than trying to market the product because of its health benefits, you are marketing the recruitment of other individuals to the organization. And the overwhelming majority of the products sold are inside of the organization. But what happens is that at some point in the line, it becomes impossible to continue to sell the products because you don't have an actual consumer base to buy the product, and you only have the people within the company that is selling to one another. So now let's look at what EXP is and if this fits in that category of a pyramid scheme. If you think about the revenue share model for EXP, basically all it does is it incentivizes agents to attract other agents that are already selling real estate, right? So you're already selling real estate. If I show you that there's a better opportunity, you're gonna come over here, you're still gonna do the exact same thing of what you're doing. But the beauty of it is right now, if I was at a Coldwell Banker or any other company, this is no knock on any company, right? So I want to be clear on that. If I was at any of those companies, some of them are trying to put plans in place now because they see that they're losing a lot of agents because it's never been about the agent in the beginning. But what EXP does is they say, hey, Casanova, for you bringing on Jonathan, just because Jonathan comes over here and sells, what we're gonna do is that money that he was already going to pay to us, the broker, just to hang his license here. Because if you think about it, if you're at any brokerage, they don't pay you to be at the brokerage. You pay them to hold your license there by giving them a percentage of your splits. And so they say, hey, Casanova, for you bringing over Jonathan, out of that money that he pays to us, we're then gonna cut you a small piece of it back. It's no different than me giving another agent a referral if they're in Tennessee or if they're in Texas or if they're in California, and then a percentage of that commission is being shared back with me. So EXP incentivizes other agents to go and attract people from outside of the organization to hang their license here. And the benefit is that attraction gets you to build wealth. Not only, it's like, the way that I think about it is when you think about real estate investing. When we first get into real estate investing, if we're not taught the right way, we're thinking about the appreciation. We're thinking about the long term and how much money we're gonna make. But one thing that I've always learned, and I've told even my clients, is you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. But more importantly, it's not about the appreciation. That's the cherry on the top. What it's really about is the cash flow and creating a predictable and sustainable monthly income, right? That's what we want to invest for. And so that's the same thing that EXP gives. You also get stock in the company. You can get your stock back if you do enough selling of real estate, right? So it's many ways to get rewarded. But more importantly, as you're attracting other agents, and you will just by being you. And the reason why I say that is because we're all affiliate marketers, right? If I was to say, hey, I wanted to become an accountant, and I go talk to an accountant, they're gonna tell me all of the great things about it. And I'm gonna ask, okay, well, why did you choose this firm? And they're gonna say, oh, because they said, in a couple years, I could become a partner. Or because they also had support for me getting a book of business. Because I also had a lead accountant who said he was gonna be right there with me every step of the way. Those are all of the same things that you get no matter what brokerage that you're at. There's a reason why you chose it. And when you share the reason why you chose it, other people are going to attract to that, because a lot of the times people don't have even great energy, which is why they say, listen, if I'm going to be successful, I got to surround myself around other successful people, but more importantly, other positive people, other people who are looking to get after it each day. And that's what EXP provides. So that's the third myth that I wanted to debunk. It's not, you do not have to even attract one person. But if you're already doing it just by building an impact in your community and for your business, why wouldn't you get a piece of the profits? Because people are coming over just because of you either way. That's all we got for this one. Hopefully, if you've gotten any value out of this video, you hit that like button, you hit the subscribe button, because I'm gonna be bringing more videos like this and based on personal development and real estate and everything I've been doing to build a life by my design multiple times every single week. So make sure that you stay tuned. But also, if you're a real estate agent, or if you're even thinking about getting into real estate, or maybe you're already in real estate, you're just not getting the traction that you want, I'm gonna leave a link down below. I invite you to click on that link, schedule a call with me, and I want to learn more about you and your business and see if I can help you, again, start to have financial freedom so you don't have to be on the hamster wheel every single year for selling real estate, and you can truly create a life by your design. But we all know that, again, if no action happens, change will not happen by chance. It only happens by choice. So you got to make a choice. But I'll leave a couple more videos for you guys. If you like these types of videos, I'm going to keep bringing them, and dropping and hitting that like button is how you let me know that I'm bringing value to you. But remember, in the dream we trust, you just got to take action on your dreams, because if you don't, that dream that you have will only merely be a fantasy. That's all for this one. We'll catch you on the next one. Let's go.